brought up in a way where no one had ever even shouted on me. If I ever got into that situation, I used to be like totally off balance.
How you are handling emotions right now and how you used to manage earlier.
I used to be a very emotionally sensitive kid. Somehow I thought that breathwork would definitely help her out of the situation. Life is not just getting into a good college, getting placed in your dream company, but it's much more than that.
Is there a communication about the marriage and how you should take it forward, or it just happens like everyday learning and all?
Initially, the fights are more. We're just trying to adjust permanently together, find out new things about each other, right? Whatever I am today is because of my guru. He has been kind enough to give me this knowledge. I am just a volunteer sharing this knowledge to the world.
Really want to experience that for myself. So physically, when health is not good, so we see it like very instantly. Okay, I need to work on my body, but mind is not something like that. Though we suffer, we don't know, we don't realize it until and unless we feel like, okay, I'm done with this state of mind. Hi, Dolly. Welcome to Path to Inner Joy.
Hi, Vana. Thank you so much. Really happy to be here.
My pleasure. Path to Inner Joy is all about finding joy from inside. Um, when I came to Sudarshan Kriya for your class for the course with you, I didn't. So I don't have any expectations at that time. Just trying to figure out how my emotions gonna untangle and how I gonna get out of it. But when I started doing the course for the first day, second day, I slowly started seeing the changes from within. So for no reason, I felt like happy. And on the course, like on day three, it was like all my emotions untangled, and it showed me my core emotion that I'm trying to find from the outside world. So now I've been practicing Sudarshan Kriya for almost, this is my 11th day, which I'm very consistent with. The reason that I'm consistent, it's all because I could see the results in it. So, but you are here and you had like a lot of experience in this and you've been practicing it for a while. So, I would like to know more about your what experiences that you are going through, Sudarshan Kriya, and how we can find joy from within, and how Sudarshan Kriya is one of the tools for it. So I would like to explore more about it. But before jumping into it, I would like to know a little bit about you. And so, what's your experience in life which pulled you towards Sudarshan Kriya, becoming a teacher of Sudarshan Kriya?
Yeah, absolutely, Vana. So glad that you had a great experience in the happiness workshop. And so glad that you're practicing it regularly and consistently and seeing the difference. So, a little bit about myself. I'm from Delhi. I'm born and brought up in Delhi. My parents were also based out of Delhi. So, most of my life has been there. And how I came into Sudarshan Kriya and the art of living course was my dad brought me here. So basically, he was the first person who experienced Sudarshan Kriya and he was just raving about it. He was so happy. He felt those changes that he was just talking about. And he was the one who was pushing me and mom to do it. And my mom was also not very eager. I was also not very eager. So we just kept on pushing it. And then all of a sudden, I got to know my mom had high BP. So I was, uh, I was very sensitive as a child. Right? Yeah, so I had just turned 18 and I found out that my mom had high BP. And somehow I thought that breathwork would definitely help her out of the situation. And I was very adamant about her doing the course. But then she was like, I'll not do it unless you do it. Because she wanted to postpone it too. But then this is the reason I got signed up with no intention of doing the course. And when I did it for the first time, it was like amazing. The Kriya experience, everything was amazing. I started practicing it for quite some time, but there was little connection. Like I didn't get connected yet. So I think maybe part of the reason was that I came into a mixed group of people. So the course that was happening there was like a mixed group of people. There were aunties as old as 80, right? And I was the youngest in the group. So I didn't feel that connection. I thought maybe this is actually for him. I felt a little odd being in a mixed group of people. There were middle aged people, there were old people, and I felt spirituality is for people who have already retired, and maybe I'll do it one time when I'm done with all my work. But then we went to the Art of Living International Center, Bangalore,
Mm.
and I met Gurudev there. And there was also this satsang that was happening, but all the youngsters were there. And I was like, what is this? Like, what kind of people? Because satsang for me was not very cool as a Delhi kid.
Mhm.
So then my mom was also very interested. So my parents actually pushed me into this. So my
Mm.
dad was the one who made me do the course, and then my mom was like, let's ask what course is this. Looks like a
Mhm.
group of youngsters are,
Mhm.
enjoying satsang.
Mhm.
Look at their energy levels. They were so enthusiastic and lively.
Mhm.
And so we just reached out to them. They said there's something called as summer magic. You're going to do a similar course next week. So that's the
Yeah,
course
I'm
that they were
excited
doing.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be,
Mm.
because that's the reason I got finally connected to Art of Living. So I
Okay.
got to know that there's a youth empowerment seminar. It's also
Mhm.
called as Yes Plus. It was
Mhm.
a youth. It was designed specially for youth.
Mhm.
So all the youngsters joined that course, and then this was like Yes Plus Plus at that point of time.
Okay.
So because all the college kids get holidays in summer,
Mhm.
so they just came there, and Baba and Dinesh,
Mhm.
they used to take that course once in summer and once in winter.
Okay.
So and that was part of it. That
Mhm.
satsang was part of it. So
Mhm.
when my mom found out, she said that let's find a Yes Plus course for you in Delhi.
Okay.
And that's when I went to a Yes Plus course with young people just like me, almost similar age, and I got connected to everyone instantly,
Mhm.
and especially to the teachers that were taking the course. I think that was the turning point of my life, not just me getting connected to Art of Living, but also my life.
So,
Because
what do you mean by your life is turned because of that? Like, how?
yeah, so I used to be a very emotionally sensitive kid.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have anger issues. I was very short tempered. Maybe you cannot
Mm-hmm.
tell now. And I used to be like a very emotionally vulnerable person as well, like a very soft person in general, because my
Mm-hmm.
parents were also very soft. So I was brought up in a way where no one had ever even shouted on me. And if I ever got into that situation, I used to be like totally off balance. I didn't know how to handle my mind. So
Mm-hmm.
these were the things that bothered me, and because of that, I went to college. When I went to college, I was going through some emotional turmoil. I got into a not so good group, and with toxic friends, and I really wanted to get out. I used to be the class topper, and because of that group, I it was the first time my CGPA hit 5, like it was 5.9, and that's when it stuck me that I really need to get out of this group. But I didn't have the courage
Mm-hmm.
because I was so emotionally complex, as a
Mm-hmm.
like how you are in teenage life, right?
Correct.
So this is actually the point when I did my S plus course,
Mm-hmm.
and when I did that, I did come out of that. But I also realized that maybe there is more to life than I just think. Life is not just getting into a good college and then getting placed in your dream company, but it's much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it got like very deep. My experiences were very deep in that particular course. And, within a month, I signed up for an advanced meditation program. I think similar to what you did, right? And within a week of doing that course, I also met Gurudev again, and very closely this time. So
Mhm.
somehow things just fell into place, and I just happened to end up in that silence course. And my experience was so good in that silence course that it just totally transformed me as a person. Like, probably how you felt after your first and second Sudarshan Kriya, right?
Uh-huh.
A lot more than that. And then all the knowledge that we had, of course, we were again a group of youngsters. It
Mhm.
was so deep and meaningful. And the person who was taking the silence course, he was an engineer himself. So
Okay.
he was
Mm.
actually telling us the meaning of everything that we were doing, like from
Mm.
a scientific angle.
Correct.
And that's what probably you need in that age, because when you are a young person,
Mm.
you're very much logical,
Correct.
you're very intellectual, you want logic behind everything. Why are we doing this? Why are we
Correct.
doing that?
Correct. Yeah.
So I think they just it just they just won me over.
Mhm.
And
So,
I
do
didn't
you remember like what was your thinking process before the course and after course? Like what changed within you?
Definitely I felt a shift. But
Mhm.
since I was very young, I don't exactly remember the kind of person I was.
Okay.
2 years back, I was visiting my hometown,
Mhm.
and my sister was telling me an instance that
Mhm.
how I got angry at a certain situation, and I just couldn't relate to that person anymore. So that's when I remembered that I used to be a short-tempered person. So it just very naturally happened. I
Mhm.
was very young to even observe that shift. But yes, when I heard her talking about me as an angry person,
Mhm.
that gave me an opportunity to reflect back and see how long I've come,
Nice.
as a
Very
person.
nice. Yeah. So now when you look back, what could you say like one thing that changed drastically? You said you were an emotional person, right? So now I believe like you got some tools to handle your emotions and I think you manage it in a better way compared to earlier. So if you had to analyze and go back and see like what exactly changed for you and how you are handling emotions right now and how you used to manage earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest shift was what people used to think about me as a person.
Mhm.
I used to be super conscious of that.
Mm.
Um, and I think that just changed after that one course immediately. That was something that immediately changed. Like I was more comfortable in my own skin.
So I think 90% of the problems are gone.
Yeah,
That's where all the problems are stemmed.
yeah, I know.
Mm.
So that was the root of like so many complex emotions that used to just come up. And I
Mm.
think it just melted away like anything. I don't know how it
So
happened.
now I want to know exactly like how that worrying about others has gone. Like that's very important to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, now, like I said, I don't know how over time when I was practicing Sudarshan Kriya, it just naturally shifted the way I used to look at life. I
Mhm.
think the deeper problem here is not what people think of you, but
Mhm.
it's more about how comfortable are you in yourself as a person.
Okay.
And I think that also stems from if you don't spend time with yourself, if you
Mm.
don't know who you actually are,
Mhm.
right? Because life just happens. It will keep happening whether or not you sit with yourself, whether or not you have time to think about yourself.
Okay.
It will just keep on happening right from your childhood.
Mhm.
You have the pressure to be good at exams. Then you have the pressure to be good at college. Get
Correct.
into a good college, being good at college, then
Correct.
getting that dream job, then getting married. It will just happen.
Mhm.
And you'll not even know that you're on your deathbed, right? But when you just come across something like this, which gives
That's
you that chance to go deep into yourself. Then you start
mm-hmm.
exploring who you actually are, right? And I think that
Mm-hmm.
is what causes that shift. Because you're sitting and spending time with yourself, you're doing these practices, you're doing meditation, you have that chance to go deep into yourself, explore who you are, and that's what makes you comfortable in who you are as a person. And then it doesn't matter what people are thinking, right? It automatically happens. It's just so natural.
Right. So knowing myself deeply without judging me, judging my emotions. So just try to understand my emotions. That's all we should be doing.
I think not try at all.
Not try to.
Just be effortless. Gurudev says a very beautiful thing. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. He
Mm-hmm.
says at the at the level of body,
Mm-hmm.
effort is the key. You have to do physical exercise, you have to work out. But
Correct.
at the level of the mind, effortlessness is the key.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Like how it is a key? Like, can you explain it a little bit?
So when you have to meditate, right,
Mm-hmm.
you have to just let go.
Hmm.
As opposed to what people think what meditation is. Meditation is not concentration.
Hmm.
Concentration is a result of meditation. But when you sit to meditate, you have to just relax and let go. So
Okay.
that effortlessness is what is the key to go deep into yourself because that is when we get that rest.
Mm-hmm. So without analyzing, just see things as it is. Don't add any extra stories or some layers on top of it. Just observing things as it is a key for mental wellness, right? That's what's
Yes.
interesting.
So I mean, I feel that everyone now meditation is not a luxury anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to like 5,000 years back,
Mm-hmm.
meditation and these practices, it was called as Raj Yoga. Only rajas, only kings, and the family of the king were allowed to practice these things
Oh, yes.
because yeah, because they will make you so powerful and strong mentally that you can do anything, right? So it used to be called as Raj Yoga.
Raju.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
every king used to have a Rajguru. There used to be a Rajguru in every kingdom,
Correct. Mm-hmm.
right? So now this has become that was a luxury. That was a time when it was luxury, but now it's a necessity.
Hmm.
It's so competitive out there. Even kids have stress these days, you know?
Correct.
So it's very, very important for all of us. How
Mm-hmm.
important it is to eat food every day. I think that is how much important it is to meditate every day.
Okay. Yeah. That makes really interesting. I mean, the story that you explained, like when we go back, that for Rajas, kings, and all, it's a necessity for them. For others, it's a luxury. So, but now it's a necessity for everybody. It's not luxury. So, it's really something that we need to think about it because even when I go back, like few years back, maybe 3, 4 years back, when somebody meditates or do these Sudarshan Kriyas and all, myself, I used to feel like why they are doing all these things. I don't even understand. I couldn't even make sense out of it. But now, when I go through all these things and when I experience them for myself, now I see like, okay, this is something my mind really needs. Like when I do meditation or when I do Sudarshana Kriya, so my mind is so focused and without any effort, I feel so happy. I'm telling it multiple times because I do enjoy it thoroughly. Yeah.
I can totally feel that.
Right. And so the other question, despite I'm doing Sudarshana Kriya and all, I mean, though it's very like short period of time, but when I get angry or something like fight, so always my mind is in a mood like, okay, let's get into fight. Let's get this done now without observing, okay, if I go through anger or if I go through sadness or if I go through anxiety, so it's always okay, I need to react now, I need to stop this feeling, so I need to do something to make this feeling go away. So I guess you might be having those kind of moments as well, right? So how do you handle them? And how do you see the necessity to handle it? So for me, if you ask me as a person, so at that moment I feel it has to be worked out right now. I don't see the need or necessity to wait and observe the emotions and work on it and then talk about it. I don't see that need or necessity. But I guess it's very important we need to understand what we really want from the situation, right? So how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think anger and all these range of emotions makes us very emotionally rich. And I think that's what makes us human, right? At the end of the day. So I
Correct.
think it's absolutely okay to feel angry,
Mhm.
but how do I handle it? So, first of all, it might have taken me, let's say, 2 months to
Mhm.
get over my anger for someone or on a situation, but now it takes, let's say, 2 minutes.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that happens like it's no rocket science because I've been practicing it for so long now. It
Mm,
just happens. I become more aware and I
mm,
see, okay, I am getting angry, and then as soon as I become aware, I just come out of it.
mm,
Right? But also in that situation, like you asked, how do
mm,
you handle certain situations like that? See, the
mhm,
first thing is to understand, okay, I have become angry. This is the situation.
mhm,
Right? When you understand the situation and when you accept it, right? Going back to what we learned in the course,
mhm,
so then automatically your mind becomes calm. So the
mhm.
key here is if we have any of these emotions, make sure you take care of your mind. Make sure you save your mind at all costs.
See, I've been taught like if you have angry, you need to shout out another person. It's not been taught, but it's been like observing things and seeing other people. It's what mind has accepted. Okay, if I'm angry, I need to okay, kill the other person. So I mean, at least that's how we feel in the mind. But yeah, when I went through the course with you, so we have discussed certain aspects, but which my mind hasn't received yet. So I mean, though it understands, but it didn't learn yet. So is it just a consistency that we need to keep reminding, or it's something else?
Yeah, so I think more than the consistency to keep reminding, it's more important to do the breathing practices because that will automatically help you understand that point little more.
I mean, though I learned these points during the course, like when we are angry, we are responsible for our own emotions and all. But still, my mind is already taught to itself, like when I'm angry or something. It's a outside world that is giving me that pain or that emotion, and I need to vent it out on the outside world, like from where the source from where I believed it is coming. So I need to vent out or show my emotions to the outside world in a way that I know. But as you said, like by doing the breath work and all, so now your anger, everything can be controlled in a few minutes compared to earlier, right? Um, can you help me like dig in a little bit deeper, like how that is connected to handling emotions, the breath work and all? Since I'm like right now in the very early stages of it,
Wow.
I'm more curious to know like how that really affects my emotional wellness.
Absolutely. So these breathing exercises, it's so scientific how it helps us manage our emotions better.
Mm-hmm.
Breath is actually what connects the outer world and the inner world that is inside us, right? Breath is less tangible than the mind. Breath is less tangible than the body, but more tangible than the mind, right? So you cannot manage your mind at the level of the mind, right? If you're
Correct.
getting angry and you tell yourself, I should not get angry, that won't work, right?
True. Yes.
But if you work on your breath, so
Mm.
I mean, I think it's there in our system also. We
Mm.
start taking faster breaths, right?
Mm.
When we get angry.
And where I agree. Yeah. Correct.
System is very intelligent. It
Mm.
takes those faster breaths because we need to take more breaths, right?
Mm.
To calm our system,
Mm.
right? And you must have also heard, when people get angry, elders tell you to take few deep breaths,
Correct.
isn't it?
Yeah, count 10 breaths. Yes.
Count on your breaths or take few
Uh,
deep breaths, whatever,
correct.
whenever something like that happens. Even when
True.
you're sad, the same thing.
Correct.
See, every emotion is linked with a different breathing pattern. Right?
Mhm.
There's a great link between emotions and breath. Like I said, when you're getting angry, your breath is faster.
Correct.
And when you're very peaceful and calm, like right now, you can
Mm,
hardly even feel that you're breathing. It's so light.
true. Yeah.
And if you
Okay.
observe keenly, when you're sad, your breathing pattern is different,
Mm.
right? So every emotion has a corresponding rhythm in breath. So what we are doing here is we are reverse engineering this. We work on our breath, and that's how we manage our mind. We handle our mind,
Okay. This is very interesting. Yeah.
right? So whenever you're doing some breath work, you're actually, um, I won't say enforcing, but you're just kind of going into that peaceful state of mind automatically. And
Yeah.
Sudarshan Kriya is such a powerful breathing technique. It's so intelligently designed that it pulls out the stress from every cell of your body.
Yeah. I can feel it.
You felt it, right? I saw you feeling
Yes.
it in both the days, right?
Yes.
So, stress is what, we're all like diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
right? All of us are beautiful human beings. But all the events that happen in the world, in our life, they leave some mark on us. It's called
Mm-hmm.
impressions, right? So when you're doing such practices, something like Sudarshan Kriya, it removes all the dust that has been put, like it's like a diamond has been put in mud, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a diamond. So when you
Correct.
wash it, you can just see it's a diamond. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that. So when the stress is pulled out, all these things, happiness, peace, joy, and all these things like confidence, they just come up in our system. It's not like we're bringing them from somewhere. It was just there inside us, but it was hidden by those layers of stress. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what's happening inside when we're
Mm-hmm.
doing Sudarshan Kriya.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Like we are reverse engineering the things. Like instead of working on our emotions, so we are working on our breath, and our breath slowly reorganize our emotional brain. And yes, this is very interesting. I would like to know more about it when we meet in person.
Absolutely.
That's very interesting. And do you ever fight with your husband? This is personal, but still.
Absolutely.
Okay, but you doesn't look like that.
Yeah, I think when you're living with a person for so long, 24 by 7, right? I
Mm,
think you're bound to have certain differences.
mhm,
Um, we definitely fight. I know we're
mhm,
both out of living teachers, but that has got nothing to do with the fights. But
mhm,
I feel that, wherever there is love, wherever you care that much, I think if you're not fighting, then there is actually something wrong, right?
mhm. That's true. Yeah.
And the same thing happens with our parents, our siblings,
Mhm,
right? So it's just bound to happen. But I think whenever you're in that space, it's wisdom that helps you come out of it, right?
okay.
So being in knowledge helps both of us, handle the situations more mature in a more mature way.
So, what do you mean by that? Like having wisdom and knowledge helps us to deal with mature way? Like what exactly it is?
Yeah, so like for one thing, we both practice, let's say Sudarshan Kriya, we both meditate every day. So
Mm-hmm.
that stress is not there.
Correct.
Yeah, otherwise it's like you're bringing some other stress into that same fight. It
Correct.
just goes to another level.
Right.
So that doesn't happen for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is when you listen to knowledge, there are so many knowledge talks by Gurudev. And the second thing is that when you're in knowledge, let's say when we teach courses, we are automatically, you know, speaking some knowledge and that gets automatically applied in our life also. Yeah. And then there are so many knowledge talks by Gurudev that we keep on listening to. Yeah, maybe once in 2 months, once in 3 months. So that keeps us grounded, right? That from an emotional level, that is very cleansing, is what I would say as a word, right? So it really, really helps to be on this path
Mhm.
and being together as well. I mean, if you see, actually, this is the reason we got married, because we were both teachers. We both wanted to be in this service of bringing this knowledge to more and more people, because we both are very passionate about mental health and, you know, making people stress free, making the world stress free. So, this is one of the things that helps in a relationship. When you're not focusing too much on each other, you're focusing on a common goal. I think that's when you can go longer. Just like two railway tracks.
Yeah, yeah. So you think it is necessary for every couple to have a common goal?
Yeah, it could be anything, but having a higher goal really helps in a relationship.
So it should
Otherwise,
be common, or it could be different, two different higher goals, or it has to be like one shared higher
if it's a shared higher goal,
goal.
then you connect more, I think.
Mm.
But even
Logically
if
speaking, yeah.
it's a different goal, having
Mm.
a higher goal is important. Like
Mhm.
usually what happens is these days it's very common that people are just focusing on each other. So it's just like two lines, they are
Mhm.
getting closer to each other and then they just go like this. But
That's true, yeah.
but when you focus on something higher, right?
Mm.
So you're both aligned to something higher. So you're just going parallel to each other, like two railway tracks, right?
Mhm.
So just go longer together.
Mhm. So why do you think it is such important to have the higher goal? Like without higher goal, can't we be happy with each other?
So what happens is when you don't have a higher goal, you're focusing on each other, then
Mhm.
you're just policing each other all the time. Where did you go? Who did you talk to? Why did you
Mhm.
come home late? Right?
Mhm.
So the goal becomes each other. So having a higher goal actually helps you both, right?
Okay.
And it could be anything. It need not be a spiritual path or making this world stress free, right? It might
Mhm.
be you want to, create a startup and you want to own like $1 million company, right?
Mhm.
Or it could be world peace. It could be anything at all, whatever you're passionate about.
Mhm.
But this really, really helps.
Mhm. So apart from this, what is do you have any like foundation for your relationship? You have any certain principles or rules that you follow by both of you? It just happens naturally.
I think it just happens naturally most of the time. Um, we met while we were more volunteering for the courses, and we just found that we both like each other, and
Mm-hmm.
we just had this common thing going. And
Mm-hmm.
I was very passionate about that. So I told my parents I want to marry someone who is into this already, who
Mm-hmm.
understands me and who supports me in this journey. Because
Right.
some people might not understand, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it might not be like I had to find a teacher only, like I had to marry a teacher, but it just happened that he was, and
Right.
it just very naturally happened, I think.
Right. Yeah. So after like few years of marriage, do you find like there is a room to have like few proper what do you say, things that we can follow through in this relationship to make it work for the longer run, or it's just like you learn every day and you go through it? Like, is there a communication between together about the marriage and how you should take it forward by having few foundations, or it just happens like everyday learning and all like that?
Yeah, I think initially the fights are more.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to adjust to the other person. You're living permanently together, and you
Mm-hmm.
find out new things about each other, right? Even though we were friends before,
Mm-hmm.
you've never lived together with that
Mm-hmm.
person. So definitely happens, but I think after a few fights, you kind of catch on with this,
Mm,
what is expected of the other person.
mhm,
And then I think communication is very, very important in a relationship.
mhm,
So whenever we have a fight, we make
mm,
it a point to sit together and talk about how we are feeling, not just about what happened, but how we feel about it. So that tells the other person, okay, this is something that might have triggered that feeling. This is why the person felt bad. So we try to see it from both the perspectives.
Okay,
Right?
that's interesting. You still follow that?
We still follow that. We still have fights.
Mm,
And we have made it like customary to sit down and communicate about it. Communicate about your feelings. Because repressing something and hiding it from the person you are going to spend the entire life with is not going to help your relationship,
mm.
right? So it's always the best to communicate well.
So, without blaming, you just express how you felt because of that fight, and your husband also explains how he felt. Like, without telling, because of you, I felt like that. This is how I felt because of what happened.
Correct.
That's interesting. That's very nice. Cool. So going back to Sudarshan Kriya, so we discussed like Sudarshan Kriya helps to regulate our emotions, and we work it in a reverse way, re-engineer it, so that working on breath, it slowly go through our emotional level, and our emotions start settling down. Doesn't take so much of time. Um, as it used to. So now, when we talk about self-esteem, self-worth, and self-respect, so this Sudarshana Kriya also helps in that, like improving our self-esteem and connecting ourselves deeply and respecting ourselves. So does this helps in that also?
Absolutely. I think this is one of the differences that I saw in myself. My
Mhm,
confidence was really low in the first couple of years in my college when I
mhm,
came for the Yes Plus workshop.
mhm,
I mean, I was so underconfident that I couldn't even move out of a group of friends, like I said, right? So that had a lot to do with my self confidence as well.
mhm,
I think I'm definitely a very changed person now. I used to
mhm,
have so much stage fear.
mhm.
Just yesterday I took a meditation session for like 120 folks from my
Wow.
office team.
Mhm,
We had an offsite, and it just
mhm,
happened very naturally. They just asked me to take a session. And
mhm,
I was so confidently just taking.
mhm,
So coming back to the point where I was mentioning that when you spend time with your own self, when you
mhm,
sit and meditate, then you get to know more about your own self. And the
mhm,
more you know about yourself, the more confident you are in your skin. Right?
mhm.
And I think that just changes everything.
Okay.
You just become
Mhm,
not only more confident but also unshakable. When you spend some more time with yourself every day,
mhm.
regular basis, then you get to know more about your own self. I think that's what makes all the difference. You don't just become confident but also unshakable.
That's
So it
interesting.
definitely helps in your self-esteem, your being confident. Yeah, and
Mhm,
you'll see if you consistently practice this, you'll also see that difference.
mhm. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So how about the other feelings like having pride and ego? Like you're doing all these things, right? So you are helping so many people, and you're also in one way or the other way. So many people tell you that their lives have been changed because of the course that they attended with you. So I think this, mm, I mean, given an opportunity to feel like, okay, to take pride out of it. And so some ego might hit in. So I really don't know. What's your personal experience with that?
Yeah, I think it's a good question.
Mhm,
I think it's something that keeps me grounded here is whatever I am today is because of my guru, right?
mm,
I don't know why I came into this path, and but whatever I'm sharing today, if I'm sitting here and talking about all these things, is just because he has been kind enough to give me this knowledge, and
mm,
I'm just a volunteer sharing this knowledge to the world, right? So it might happen sometimes, but it just keeps me grounded. This fact keeps me grounded. That it's just, coming from him. It's not even my knowledge.
So you keep reminding yourself this thing, like when those feelings hit it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it hardly hits.
Mhm,
But if I think about it, even if it does, sometime I'll definitely think that way
mhm,
because it's not something that has come from me. I'm just like an instrument, right?
mhm, mhm,
It's just coming from him. He's pulling the strings.
mhm. That's nice. Like having someone, like believing in some other higher power than us helps us always to keep grounded.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if in general, you feel that these emotions are coming up and how to keep myself grounded, you can
Mhm,
just think that, there's a higher power and
mhm.
nothing moves without, them
Yeah, yeah.
wanting it to move. So that
Like,
keeps you grounded, right?
yeah, it's just seeing the facts as it is rather than thinking like, okay, it's all within me. I'm doing this. Seeing it in a factual way helps us more to
Yeah.
be realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, but this has never happened to me, like in all honesty. In fact,
Oh, great.
it's basically the reverse, My journey was more towards being very underconfident to, uh, you know, confident, like just confident. So I
It's
think
nice.
it didn't go to the other extreme.
Bingo. That's nice. Cool. Any other techniques or tools that you use apart from Sudarshan Kriya?
Yeah, so I've also done the Sahat Samadhi meditation workshop.
Okay.
It's a mantra-based meditation technique. You
Mm-hmm.
get your personal mantra and then you meditate. So I add that to my practice of Sudarshan Kriya
Every day.
every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That makes it so much deep. I've
Mhm.
also done few other higher level programs, so like Sayam, if you've heard about it. So it,
What is it? Can you please repeat it again?
it's called Sayam.
Sayam.
Yeah. So
Mhm. What is that?
Sayam is a little more deeper than Sahaj.
Mm-hmm.
It will just add a little more to your practice, but it makes it like super deep. So
Mm-hmm.
as you move forward in the path, you'll see that there are so many tools and techniques that Gurudev is giving to us just to make sure we culture our mind well.
So all these are reverse engineering techniques.
So yes, like breathwork is the core of Sudarshan Kriya.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Then comes Sahaj. It's a slightly different school of thought where you are just letting go. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was talking about effortlessness is a key for
Mm-hmm.
mind, right? So
Mm.
when you do Sahaj, you'll actually understand that.
Okay.
You can just, with your mantra, you can just go so deep in your own self, just by
Mm-hmm.
effortlessly letting go.
Okay.
You'll be taught that in your Sahaj course.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you move on, you learn more and more tools and techniques. There's no stopping to that. I think even I've
Mm-hmm.
not done all the courses that are there in Art of Living. There are so many, but
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say that like Sudarshan Kriya is something that is life changing, and that is
Yeah.
definitely the core of everything that is there in Art of Living.
So I can see that feeling through you. So I mean, I really want to experience that for myself.
Definitely, and stay in touch. I'll let you know like what are the next steps you can take every time when you do a course.
Mhm.
So after
Sure,
you're done with the next week course, then we'll talk more about it, and I'll guide you throughout the journey. So don't
sure.
worry.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I would like to know, like, how your day starts with, like, what all things you do to keep yourself calm or to find peace from within. Like, what all things you do every day as sadhana, like regular practice.
Yeah, so sadhana is definitely the core part of the day. Apart from that, I also do
Mm-hmm.
physical exercises.
So sadhana means it's Sudarshan Kriya,
It's Sudarshan Kriya and Sahaj and the Sayam
Sahaj.
practice. Yeah,
Three practices you do.
yeah.
And how much time it takes for these three?
It takes 1.5 hours, and I break it and do because I'm also working. I'm a
Mm.
working professional, so I balance it out. I do some things in the morning, some things in the evening. So I
Okay.
break it and do, but I do it every day so that
So you do Sudarshan Kriya as soon as you wake up, or you take some time and then do?
mostly in the morning I do Sudarshan Kriya and I do the Sayam practice in the evening.
Okay.
Sometimes it's even the reverse.
Okay.
Like,
So it's like,
and on holidays I get a chance to do both of them together. So
okay. Okay.
yeah.
And then?
And then there's also physical exercise that's an important part of my day. So it's
Mm-hmm.
mostly swimming.
Oh,
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's running or walking.
mm-hmm.
Depends on how much time do I have.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very important to take care of that aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're
Okay.
physically doing that exercise, your body should get tired, like on a physical level as well, to
Mm-hmm.
be like a totally, a well-rounded, healthy
Mm-hmm.
person, right?
Correct.
Um, Mental health is one aspect, physical health is also equally important. So at least 30 minutes a day I give to some physical activity. It might be yoga as well, an intense yoga session before my sadhana. But definitely I make a point to do something physical as well.
Nice. So what happens, like you've been consistent with all these practices, and sometimes um I mean, natural things can happen that might break your flow, right? Sometimes it could be shorter break, sometimes it could be longer break. So how do you handle that break, like when you really can't do the sadhana every day?
Yeah, so for example, some maybe I'm traveling uh,
Mm-hmm.
by train, by flight. Sahaj practice is something I can do anywhere, anytime.
Oh, okay.
Because I cannot do my Kriya everywhere, but I can definitely do my Sahaj practice because I just have to sit and just close my
Mm-hmm.
eyes for that. So that is something I definitely make a point whenever I'm not getting time to do anything else to do. But apart from that, I have found a lot of ways to do it while traveling as well. So we were traveling to US and we had a layover, and there is always a room on airports where you can do your prayers. It's called a prayer room. So we can just go there. We did Sudarshan Kriya there, and uh, we were able to meditate. But yeah, you can definitely. There are times when you cannot do anything at all.
Mhm.
So at that time, it's you
So
cannot.
it became a habit for you, like just as we brush every day, so you do these sadhanas every day. So how like one person who didn't get that habituated yet, um, so how do they find motivation to do things like consistently, these sadhanas, etc., and why they have to do it?
Yeah, I think speaking by my own experience,
Mm-hmm.
it's what I experienced in those days when I've missed my sadhana.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I'm traveling. There's a sudden. I can feel that difference in my state of mind when I'm not practicing versus I'm practicing. And that just keeps me going. But I think if someone is a beginner and they want to find motivation, I think doing it, that's why we prescribe the 40 days of practice. So
Hmm.
40 days
Yeah.
is called a mandala. And based on research, this is how much time it takes for a habit to form for you.
Okay.
So when you do it regularly, consistently for 40 days straight, then you see that it has become a habit already, effortlessly.
So okay, we do it.
Absolutely.
And someone who doesn't know anything about it, and what do you tell them, like why they have to start doing some practice for their emotional well-being?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are self motivated. Like
Mm-hmm.
you reached out to us that you want
Mm-hmm.
to try this out.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, they just don't know the experience of doing something, right? But this
Mm-hmm.
is something that is more experience based than, just telling and motivating someone to do it. So we just reach out to them. We take some free sessions, meditation sessions for them, and let them experience the power of breath work and meditation. And when they take that flavor, I think they automatically want to experience more.
When they ask why I should do, like what do you tell them?
Yeah, I think it's very important for us to take care of our mind these days. We
Mm.
talk about wealth management, we talk about time management, product management, project management, whatnot. But
Correct.
no one talks about mind management.
Optimism. Yeah,
No one talks about mind management. And it's
true.
so, so important. If you think about it, the quality of your mind directly impacts the quality of your life.
Mm. True.
We teach a lot of courses,
Mm.
and there was one out of living course that was conducted for the CEOs of all the banks in the world.
Mm.
There are a lot of World Bank CEOs in different
Mm.
countries. So, one of the ladies in the course, she shared her experience on the last day. She said that
A CEO.
yeah. So she shared her experience on the last day. She said she felt so good after doing Sudarshan Kriya. She said that she was going through such a hard time.
Mm.
6 months back, she had a divorce,
Mm.
and when everything was wrapped up, of all official paperwork was done for the
Mm.
divorce, she said that I deserve a vacation. So she went to her favorite place, Hawaii, and she was sitting there in the sunset, watching the sunset and eating her favorite ice cream. And for 5 minutes, nothing happened. But then after that, everything started coming back to her.
Like,
Doesn't
mm.
matter where you are, who you are with, or what
Mm.
you are having, right?
Mm.
I think wherever you are, your state of mind defines how your life is. I mean, you can be working in an office all day, not go for a
Mm.
vacation, but if your mind is in the present moment, if your mind is at peace, then I
Mm.
think you don't need a vacation like that, right? So it's very, very important to work on your mind, right?
Mm.
That's what wherever I go, I tell the importance of how important it is to take care of your mind. And if they understand that, then they sign up for the workshop, then they know this is going to help them take care of the mind because it's
Mm.
just a tool. It's
Mm.
pretty easy to do once you learn it. You don't have to sit and meditate in Himalayas. Do it at your own home.
Uh, so physically, when health is not good, so we see it like very instantly. Okay, I need to work on my body, but mind is not something like that. Though we suffer, we don't know, we don't realize it until and unless we feel like, okay, I'm done with this state of mind.
Your mind is not tangible. So that
Correct.
is why we have to be very, very aware.
Hmm. Hmm. True. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dolly. You have shared so many invaluable experiences and so many, I mean, interesting thoughts. And you also explained few stories that are thought provoking. This is a very interesting conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Vana, for inviting me over. Hope this was helpful. And
It is. Yeah. Thank you. Have a nice day.
thank you.